think if you're going to go into business, you have to have some financial reserves. You know, you have to have some money to get started, be able to make purchases. And
I did.
Well, it's
started
hard
with
that
a
way.
$75 floor machine.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what we teach people too, like to start small.
A used floor machine from.
I used floor machine from a friend that sold it. Basically, used to work for the school district. He sold me the machine for $75. Probably stole it.
So when you got started, like, how did you get jobs?
We identified neighborhoods. We printed. My old partner, who's very smart. His father had a Mac computer at the time, and it was a pretty powerful machine. And he had a laser printer. And we used all his ink printing flyers on marble cardboard, marble cardstock paper.
And putting them in people's mailboxes.
Putting them in people's
handing them
mailboxes.
out.
We actually got a bill from the post office because we put them in people's mailboxes. And apparently that's illegal.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
That is, I
It's
forget.
federal offense, I believe.
1994.
Mail fraud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But it worked.
we got 4 or 5 jobs that way, and I had already been doing it for 4 or 5 years, so I kind of knew, wasn't really taught very well, and at the time the technology wasn't great. It was like early '90s, so
The equipment wasn't great.
yeah. So we started with a $75 floor machine and HMK products, P27.
Good products.
Great products, still good, I think. But P27 was hot. We polished 800 feet of marble. I think that might have been our first or second job for like $800.
God. So we can kind of sum that up to a wing and a prayer,
Right now.
a small crime, and the law of averages.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people start that way.
Then we got a bulk mailing permit. Then we
Got right with the post office.
got right with the post office. We bought a mailing list. We bought a mailing list of homes in Orange County. At the time, it was $350,000 and above, which right now is like a shack in slums of Skid Row. But
That's
now,
just sad.
yeah, now those homes we would have to have like a $1.5 million price
Like
on the
minimum,
list.
yeah.
For that exact home, I really think that if you can afford an $800,000 home, you can probably afford to get your travertine cleaned. So our target market's actually lower than that, lower than the 1.5. I mean, obviously we're above that, but the target market, the actual target market for the actual homes has gone down. The home I'm in is not a nice home. And that home would sell for $1.2 million. So
I can't get out of my mind that you starting your day out when you first started with a used floor machine, a illegal handout card, and as soon as you pulled out of your driveway, you're being followed by a right-handed driver in a little post office jeep.
yeah,
That's how you're imagining it.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
yeah. And
It was probably a big day when he stopped following you.
yeah, we actually had a few clients because we would hand these cards out. When we got that bill, we knew we couldn't use the post office anymore. We would actually drive in his car. He would drive me up because it was a small Nissan Pulsar. I would sit on the hood, and he would drive me up on the sidewalk, and we would put them in everybody's mailbox. So it was very professional.
Yeah. Quite systemized.
We were like 22 at the time, and had nothing to lose and nothing to gain really from that foray. But once the post office sent us the bill, we figured out that was illegal. Figured it out by reading a letter. We started stapling rubber bands to them and then just hanging them on doorknobs. And we got like really, I mean, it was only maybe 1 or 2 people in county doing it. Now there's a few hundred. So, like, we have to be a lot better at it now. But and those things won't work anymore. They would work other places, but not here. But you know, we bought the postal. We bought the lists. We started mailing. We started mailing 1,000 flyers a week. Then we went up, eventually we were up to 10,000 a week. You know, and you know,
Then
10
a lot of
crews.
average takes over.
Yeah, I mean, I think one year, I think in 2005, we spent $250,000 in mailing fees from the post office alone. But it brings in a lot of revenue, or brought in a lot of revenue at the time, because it's not just that first job. That first job is going to cost you maybe 20% of, or 18%. But the second job, the third job, the referrals.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, then they start talking.
Yeah, so we cultivated a culture of referrals, and we cultivated a culture of repeat business, and it really helped us to grow.
Yeah. We did the same thing, sort of. We sort of started off Maurizio's shirt tails, and after he yelled at every single customer that he had, it was kind of easy to start. We didn't have that many customers left. So, you know, it was interesting. But we started out with one machine and a helper, and I just went out every day.
A swing machine?
Swing machine, an old Clindex. I still have it. It's fallen downstairs and been banged around and stripped so many floors. There's no more paint on it.
Is that the one that's in the barn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still there.
Can you imagine if Maurizio had to deal with like
No.
Yelp or Google reviews or
No, I cannot.
I never even met him, and I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, they were.
Just from the stories.
He was a very verbose person when it came to answering questions, so I could imagine what he would have done with a review.
Well, remember,
Right?
he had a whole
He went
section.
visit them or something.
Yeah, and he had a whole section about grout. You know, he was a stone guy. He didn't do grout. So if he stained your grout, you know, that was your problem.
Yeah,
It wasn't his. So things have changed.
Yeah, the stone looked beautiful, right?
Yeah, the stone looked great. The stone always looked great. But you know, on those 12 by 12 tile floors, there was a lot of grout there. It
Yeah.
didn't look so good. So, and it's funny because 20 years later, going back, even more than 20 years later, going back into jobs that he did, they are always grout stained.
Still.
Still.
Yeah. Yeah, we learned early on that it wasn't just the stone that we had to take care of. It was the grout. We had to fill the grout. At the time, my partner was, like I said, pretty smart dude. He would carry around a grout chart and match the grout color. We still do that today. Sergio drives around and you know, when he does his estimates and does his proposals and he meets with clients, he's always, every time, every surface, every counter, he's matching the caulking or matching the grout color so that we can bring it with us. And that was really key for that change. Is like when you change your mindset so that you're making sure that you're solving all the problems for the client.
It's full service.
Yeah, the clients
Yep.
just love
Yeah.
it. I think
And-
we really changed the business in this area when that happened. You know.
Yeah. It is those little things, though.
Yeah.
It's full
Solutions.
service.
Yeah.
Yeah. Solutions.
Then we started adding, you know, we had a lifetime guarantee granite sealer. Now most sealers are lifetime, honestly. I mean, if you do it right. So we still do it. I mean, I think the polishing is really the value that we offer when it comes to granite service. We always seal after a polishing, but you know, MB20 was a game changer for us too, because we could really add value with cleaning and sealing a granite countertop. You know. But we always seal glass. There was at one time there was a lifetime guaranteed glass sealer that we were all in on, and I mean it lasted about 4 years, so it's not quite a lifetime. So we couldn't promise that anymore. It became a smaller part of our business, but people still request it because it does work very well. So those little add-ons and those little things, those little services that add value to clients' lives, that's really what we
Yeah.
became.
The
you know?
shower is what I'm thinking about when he says that you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
do with your shower.
Yeah.
The shower glass.
Well, we do.
Yeah.
And the,
We started out doing all small things, so small floors, entry halls, and it has always grown. So
Yeah.
when we started out with 2 bathrooms and maybe 1 shower stall and a couple of single sink vanities, and it's always grown from day one. It just kept, floors kept getting bigger, the bathrooms kept getting bigger. I mean, there's been houses where we've done like 9 bathrooms, where 3 of the bathrooms haven't even been used, and they still wanted them done. So
Yeah.
we did them. They were easy, and we always took special care in showers because no one else wanted to do them. So we would change out the drip strips. We would clean the glass. We would redo all the caulking, and clients loved that.
Mhm.
So we got in a lot of the local moms books. You know,
the groups,
the
yeah,
groups
that were
and
recommended.
moms groups and all
Mhm.
that. And
Yep.
it started spreading, and then we started soliciting tile shops and fabricators, and
Yeah. We still recommend people do that.
yeah, and
Find
it
the
was
local tile shops, fabricators in your area.
a
Give them
time
your
where
name. Yep.
no one else wanted to really do it.
Mhm.
There's a limit
It's
to fabricators.
forever changing.
Though. Some fabricators, they don't give you the gravy, they give you the hard stuff, and then, you know, I have a lot of fabricators I work with that understand that they also have to give you the jobs that they might want to take, the clean and seals and things like that, so that you're a little bit, so that when they need to have a problem solved, when they need something
Yeah.
handled, that you're
They can
there
still
on
call
it,
you,
right
yeah.
there, yeah, because
Yeah.
if they just call you for the problems, the price is not.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're disappointed with the price, put it that way. But most of the time, if a fabricator is going to refer their
Mhm.
clients, then we're going to be there's a stone restoration, you know, professional and somebody that, you know, can pull a stain out of quartzite or take a scratch out of a hard to polish marble or repair a quartz. You know,
Mhm.
I'm sure you're the same way. You know.
Oh yeah, for sure. And over the years, through the recessions and through different time periods, historical periods, things that have changed, stone restoration has always been used or utilized. You know, when things were really bad, and some of the fabricators, like you're saying, they wouldn't want to give us the good jobs when they had no work. They may have done some of the refinishing themselves in some of those periods, but it always came back. And
Yeah, it does come back.
they were happy not to have to do that,
Yeah.
that work.
Yeah.
They were much happier with installs and
Mhm.
things like that. So, yeah. And then of course, as time goes on, the change to training and getting, you know, starting to hire employees and deal with all that, and the growth that that you and I have experienced. And
Yeah, I mean, up until now, you're just talking about having yourself and a helper, right?
yeah,
But hiring employees is a whole different story, and
Yes.
you really got to set yourself up for that. And a lot of people, I think, don't understand that their pricing structures are basically built for a one-man show. They can survive on it, they can maintain themselves on it, but they're not able to
Right.
hire somebody and pay them out of that revenue. And so a lot of their clients get surprised when they have to raise their prices. They're no longer that huge value, or they feel like that anyways. So I always tell people, I always recommend, whenever I'm, we were doing hands-on classes for a while at Easy Stone Care, and now I know Stu's doing most of those classes on the East Coast, and I think we're of the same opinion, but you got to make sure that you're pricing employees into your price from the start so that you can grow. If that's your intention. I mean, some people don't want to grow, right?
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's right. Some people don't want to have the burden or the, I don't know. Can we call that a burden? Having employees?
I mean, it's
Or-
definitely, it's work. It adds more risk, more time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely something you have to consider. And you're right. Some
Yeah.
people don't want to. They want to stay small. And for some folks, they're more profitable that way.
It
I mean,
can be.
So the revenue might be lower, but the profit's more.
Well,
Right.
I
So-
remember being a single operator and coming home at 9 o'clock at night because I was doing jobs and doing estimates and writing proposals, and it never ended. It was 6 days a week of chasing jobs and work, and what if you get sick or you get hurt on the job? If you don't have somebody that can cover for you, I mean, there's so many pros and cons to all of this. I mean, I understand the single owner operator, but at the same time, having grown and found people that we really depend on, you have to think, I mean, if you trip on a job and you're down for 2 weeks, your whole schedule is just shot to hell. What do you tell people?
So then,
I'm injured.
like
What if you want to take a vacation?
Yeah.
Yeah, no vacation.
Or
2
what if
days
your
was
wife or
hard.
significant other wants to take a vacation?
Yeah.
What do? You don't have income for that 2 weeks. Most people get vacation pay. Entrepreneurs that don't have employees that can't sustain their business have zero pay during a vacation. That's kind of difficult.
Extremely
Yeah.
difficult. I mean, I understand
Scary.
the concept of owner operators, but I see it as an owner operator that's hooked up to a company that's doing all the back
Yeah.
end stuff and giving them the work. So when they go home at night, you know, they're getting a percentage. So they're paying for those things. They're riding off of somebody else's insurance.
Right. So
and
when
if they take a few days off, but the reward is limited.
Yeah, and if a owner operator is treating his business like it's a employee-based business, and he's pricing that way, or he's competitively pricing that way, maybe he's a little bit lower, but he's not like, pricing himself so low that he's definitely gonna get the job, but he has to work for the job, maybe sell the job, sell his quality. That extra money goes to pay for the vacations. He can take time off. I know somebody, he's been in business, he's in this area, and I basically, because I don't take vacations, and I have 10 employees, so I have 10 technicians. I just like working. And he likes traveling, and I travel vicariously through him. I mean, he was in I think Congo or something a couple of weeks ago, and he was on Facebook, and he had silverback gorillas walk by, and I'm like, that's exactly where he needs to be.
Yeah.
He loves that, but I don't need to be there. I would love to travel, but that's not what I like. That's not my passion, So, but he does price himself well. He also is very good at what he does. He delivers excellent quality work to his customers, and then his reward is that he has extra money to travel and live, while he's traveling because he's not working.
Yeah.
So
That's one of the things that Dean with Crimson, he always talks to people. It's when we used to do this business portion of our class, and we're trying to add that back in. But that's one of the things he'd say. You have to know what it is you want to do.
Yeah,
Where do you want to go? How do you want to structure it?
Right.
Do you want to travel? Do you want to have everybody people working and you're going and doing the traveling? And
or do you want to coach your kids soccer or baseball,
exactly,
or have time for your families?
And you have to know your numbers to be able to do that.
Yeah.
It's shocking how many people start in business and you don't understand. I mean, even when Dean walked us through some stuff through our restoration company, I mean, it was kind of eye-opening.
Yeah.
And I feel like we know a lot, but we're missing things.
Oh yeah, and one of the other things is the importance of time.
Yeah.
When we're young and we're out doing this work and running around, we can do it all. It's not a big deal. So a day ends at 11 o'clock and starts at 5:30. So what? But time is a factor. We get older and it's harder. Time is more compressed. So we don't have the time to do all those things. So we really have to make some choices. Is what are we going to do when we get in our 50s and over, and our bodies start to scream when we're kneeling down all day or
again,
running
it's
a
about those
machine.
plans though. You have to
plan
that
for
out.
that.
You have to when you are that young person starting out, you have to kind of look 10 years ahead, 20 years ahead. You're not going to be able to make these gigantic sweeping changes, but you can start to plan for it. You can start to have your eye on it and start making the moves to do
Strategies.
that. So if you're starting, let's say growth is your goal, right? So it sounds like from both of you, like the key people, once you start trying to grow, is you got to have a lead guy that's good, that you can trust to put out there, and you got to have somebody in your office, because then that frees you up to keep doing the growth and the sales and the training and those are two I think that were really important for us.
Well, you can answer the phone. You need a lead guy. You need somebody either that you can depend on to train and do their jobs and manage your employees from a small leadership perspective, not like from a big management perspective.
Right.
It's somebody somebody you need, and you need somebody selling. You need somebody that's able to meet with clients and do that type of thing. And some of those, either one of those guys can wear multiple hats, but those are really the two big jobs.
Yeah.
I found, I got lucky enough to find a few of those guys along the way, and so you have one as well, maybe a couple, and
Yeah.
I think once you recognize that, you have to really latch on and make sure that they understand how valuable they are, and then work with them and help them, progress them along, train them, and I have a gentleman working for me right now. He's about 10 years younger than me, maybe 15 years younger than me. I don't even know how old I am, and he is extremely good at meeting with clients. He knows how to value jobs. He knows exactly what technicians need to be on the jobs, and then I'm kind of like taking that other perspective. But like if you're small enough, you can answer, like one guy can answer the phone, handle a lot of these things as long as you have your core group.
Yeah.
Until you reach about 3 vans, maybe 2 to 3 vans, and then you have to have somebody in the office or an answering service. You should never, that phone should never go to voicemail, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
But
I
Yeah,
believe
we
that.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like
You like live
I don't
people
like
answering phones.
auto answer and
yeah,
automated services, and
yeah,
I
'cause
like
they
real
need to hear a
people.
live
Yeah.
person.
But the guys that we talk to, like, and maybe I hear more of this because I am in the office and we're talking to them, but one of the things they struggle with is exactly what you said. So you go work all day, you do the job, and then you have 5 hours when you get home. You have to enter the estimates and proposals for your clients, and you have to send out the bills and make sure you get the payments, and like those things is like just continuing that day to 11 or 12 or whatever. So like once you start having some growth, like it's super important, not just for the phones, which are great, but you have to have somebody that can handle all that.
Yeah, and you also have to automate. Like there's a lot of
for
things
sure.
that we've automated and here. I mean, you'd be surprised. We do a lot of revenue here. We have a lot of vans rolling out, a lot of guys rolling in every day, in and out, and we have very few people in this office because we've automated a lot. And I think that's really key, especially if you want to stay small and you want to get the most out of your businesses.
The best
Have-
programs.
Yes, have the best software you can. Get like a really good bookkeeper. That's somebody that you can rely on.
Yes.
I have
Super
somebody
important.
that comes in once a week, but she's like logs in and does things at other times as well. Very valuable. I mean, I couldn't live without her. Just her expertise. I can do accounting. I can do management. I can answer the phones. But none of that. If I do all of that, I can't do
I
what.
can't live.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't.
Right.
Also, I can't
Well,
do
you can't-
what I do best.
Right.
right.
Exactly.
And you can't do what you do best.
No way.
And that's the key. You
Yeah.
have to like put people where they fit, where they work the best,
Right.
including yourself.
Yeah.
Running a floor machine and answering 50 phone calls is close to ridiculous.
can't do
as
it all.
ever gets.
I mean, things fall
So-
through the cracks, and then you get a reputation for not being a company you can count on, or
Yeah.
it took them 2 weeks to get back to me, or I mean, like that's
Yeah, there's that guy, he does that Instagram where he's got a green screen behind him. He's walking around. He's got like he's like on a Zoom call with his office at an NFL game.
yeah.
Sometimes that's the way I feel when I'm
Yeah.
on a job, But that's I feel that way only when the office is not answering calls, and if I have to take the overflow, that's the way I feel. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
right now it's like we say, we put the right people in place and you're good.
And you do that a little at a time. I mean, like you're years in. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have to do this like a little at a time
Right.
to match whatever growth level you're at.
Right.
And COVID taught us a lot too. I mean, we changed
sure.
a lot, and we sort of try to flow through things and learn from we're always learning.
Yeah.
No matter how long we're doing this, how to do business better and how to hire better
Hopefully we
people.
learn till the day we die.
Yep.
I don't think you ever stop learning.
Yeah, I mean, I think the real key though is recognizing when you have the right person in front of you that you can kind of build a component of your business around, and then not letting them go. If they're willing to work and they're willing to be part of your organization, then you got to take that they're volunteering to, build you up. You're gonna need to pay for it, and if you're charging the right amount, this goes back to pricing.
Yeah.
If you're charging the right amount, you're gonna be able to afford that. You're gonna have some money in the bank, and you're gonna be able to afford that. And then they're gonna start delivering value because they're gonna start following up on your estimates. They're gonna start following up on your calls. They're gonna start answering the phones and just giving you the kind of customer service and giving your customers the kind of customer service they deserve.
Yeah.
And then you'll see how fast just having somebody in the office pays off. And then you need to do the same thing with technicians. A lot of people tell me that they've hired their son, or my son works for me, but he was forced to. He's really
Indentured?
good. Yeah, well, he tested out of school at 14, and then I was like, you got to get a job. And the only place you can get a job is with my company. But he is an exceptional human being when it comes to the work, and very smart when it comes to business. And I think he's open. He's learning every day. But you have to find somebody who's able to handle the technical work that you can train, and then you can build that around. He might not be that right manager, but he's the guy that you can start to rely on to bring jobs in. And then once that happens, and you see those opportunities, that opens up more, and people talk, and they're like, "Hey, I'm working for Ted, or I'm working for Stu, and he's a really good guy, and maybe you'd like to work, maybe you'd like to come in for an interview or something." And that's really good, really key. You need some water.
Yeah. You can just walk right by. Yeah, you're fine.
There's your blooper right there.
Yeah, this is live. Anyways, no,
Said water, not ice.
ice?
Ice
How do you get ice?
Ice is water.
It was.
That's why I only did like a little squirt. So
Yes.
Fuck, I'm a bitch.
So that's the key, is recognizing that in people, and then cultivating that culture of success so that they're able to stay and they're able to build a life for themselves in your business and having a career. I don't know if you have, Joe's been with you a long time, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joe's been with us
Years.
a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I've got guys, I think, so I met one of my guys, his son's working for me, and I believe he had his son when he was working for me. He's like, I think his son is 18.
Yeah.
The guy's been working with me for about 20 years. There was a little break during that, the ridiculous housing crisis, but we're talking about 20 years. These people stay with you because you take care of them, and you value them. And they have a comfortable place to work, and they can build a career in your business, and you pay them because you have the pricing set up that allows you to pay. Recently,
Right. That's right.
I had to change the way
important.
I paid my people because I didn't feel like they were making enough based on the way things were going, and it really changed the whole team. It changed dramatically.
That's what I'm saying. Like even for us, like when you start really going through stuff, you really have to understand all the numbers, how everything affects the other.
Overhead costs,
Everything.
job costs.
But then, like you said, once you know those numbers, you know how to price and pay the people that's showing
The
up,
way they
that's
deserve.
doing good
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
You're investing in them.
Yep. And the most important thing to pricing is delivering high quality work.
Yes.
So if you're a 5-star company, you want to charge
That's exactly what you say.
5-star prices.
Yeah.
It also
exactly.
allows you, like, having I know it just keeps going back to price, but it allows you to take the time necessary to deliver that 5-star price.
Right.
We talked about that
Yeah.
a little bit over the last couple of days. It's like, I'm constantly,
You have just countertop for 2 days or just floor for 2 days.
And what happened?
And every time
Yeah.
someone would come and they would pay for the just countertops, their first job would be a floor.
They have to
You
come
know what I
back.
mean?
It always
But they
happens that
got,
way.
yeah, but they were able to get some of them, be able to get some of the experience on the counters, felt more confident, so they could jump into the floors. It was a little bit intimidating, I guess, just surely because of size.
yeah.
Just more square
The
footage.
floor machine, the whole
And the
thing.
floor machine's a bigger
the
investment.
vacuum, the whole thing
Yeah.
becomes more intimidating. But
And then you have to have something to drive it around in.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
thing you're
Right.
talking about. Is like you're starting your business, you're buying these machines, and where do you get educated? I mean, Denise just mentioned classes. She just mentioned 2-day class and 4-day class. I mean,
I think they're all pretty much 4-day now.
Yeah.
Because it's just so much information.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we broke it down in more bite-sized pieces.
So MB has these classes that can be found on their website at mbstonetraining.com. As Denise said, the classes are broken down into more bite-sized pieces. What this means is that the classes build on each other. Your first class is usually the introductory class on either coast of the United States. And from there you will progress to more advanced classes. The more advanced classes include complicated repairs, quartz restoration and terrazzo, and concrete polishing, among others. You can keep up to date with the schedule and sign up for all MB Stone Professional hands-on classes at mbstonetraining.com. And remember, all past students can return to their respective class at no charge. All you have to do is RSVP to the team so they know you're coming. We had to fix the sound here because it appeared that the sound was not working when we switched over to the computer, so please forgive that. Slightly integrated with the... Yeah.
It's getting more and more integrated
Where you want to go?
with the network and the modules, the training modules. And now, before people even come to our hands-on classes, they're going on Stonecare EDU and looking at prerequisite classes so they can come in with
They have to complete
better
those.
understanding of what we're going to be training them on.
Yeah, they have to complete those. I think it's 5 prereqs they have to complete on Stonecare EDU. That's a part of
Stonecare EDU is an online training platform for the stone and hard surface industry. The master class comes with a free 1-day trial, and after that it is only $59.99 per month. All Stonecare EDU content is included to Sureshine Service Network members for themselves and any employee that they have. Stonecare EDU is also used as a prerequisite course for the hands-on training at MB Stone Professional. Sign up for the MB course. They're going to send you a MB certified class, and that doesn't just give you access to the 5 classes?
5. That's
5
the prerequisites.
Yeah. It also gives you access to the Sureshine Service Network and allows you to get listed on the Sureshine Service Network as a MB certified pro.
Right.
And an MB certified pro that's listed on the Sureshine Service Network can be found on your website.
Yes.
So when somebody goes to the MB Stonecare site,
MB Stonecare, yes.
And they want to find a pro, they would find you by going to they would find you by when a homeowner clicks on a Find a Pro on the MB Stonecare website, they are directed to the search page on the Sureshine Service Network. From there, they simply have to put in their zip code or city, and if you are within 200 miles, your profile will be displayed. The goal of both Sureshine Service Network and MB Stonecare is that a pro is found wherever somebody's searching. So it's very imperative that if you go to this class that you follow through and send out a logo and one photo, and you'll be listed and you will be found. I guarantee you'll be found. Just doing that will get you jobs.
Yeah, that's better than the mailbox. Printing the flyers.
Being chased by the post.
Stapling thousands, just lining up all these postcards and stapling rubber bands to them. Yeah, it was really rough. Well, when we were mailing it, when we first started mailing, we actually were labeling them we printed the labels on Avery labels, and we labeled every single one of them ourselves.
Yeah, this is much easier.
Thousands of them.
Much easier now.
Yeah.
And I think training.
Too cheap to pay somebody to do it.
Well, training is, we were talking about getting started. That's probably, I don't know, in my opinion, by professionals can teach you the right way. It's crucial. It's everything. It's how you start out.
Well, they say there should never be expenses in a business. There should always be investments. So it's imperative to do that. Plus, I mean, we have so many guys that are working for people or apprentices, so they've got a bit of an understanding, and then when they come to an intro class, they really get it, and
Yeah.
they
Even people that's been doing it for
First
years,
step.
though, they come visit for our intro class, and everybody that comes there learns something.
oh yeah, and we didn't mention that too. Like when you come to a class, to an intro class, you can come back as many times as you want. We don't charge
For free?
Yeah, for free.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah, 3's limited though per class.
You can come back and forth.
No,
I'm sure.
I'm saying we can only have 3 freebies in each class.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
You have
we
to make a reservation.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't
You
just
have to
show
pay
up.
the
Yeah,
bills.
just check in with me.
Hey, we're here to be free. We're here again.
But we really want people
Yeah.
to come and learn and walk away with value.
And the best thing about the hands-on training, I mean online training as well, you get to see things going, but the hands-on training you actually get to try out machines that you might not have tried out
Right.
before. You might be thinking about that Italian machine, that Italian swing machine that everybody says is so great, and you've already rented the janitorial machine from Home Depot. You want to know what the difference is. You'll feel the difference at a hands-on class.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your clients will see the difference.
And I think
Clients
it gives
see
them. I think it gives people confidence. So, like even when I first started learning years ago, and I started going to our own classes, like it was, I knew what the diamonds did, and we talked about it all the time, and the polishing compounds. But until I actually did it, it's a different feeling. Then you have more confidence. I mean, then I think you feel more ready to go do that job, whatever
Yeah.
it is.
And it works so well in conjunction with online. So you come to a class, you spend 4 days, you get affected by sensory overload. There's a lot of things going on. And then you leave and you're just like, oh
What-
my God.
What did I just learn?
Yeah, so you're able to go backwards a little bit
Yeah.
and
Refreshers
look at,
and
look at the
reminding.
modules
Yep.
and see what you've done, and
Yep.
that's all the brain needs is a little refresher, and you can say, oh yeah, I remember that whole thing, you know. So
Yeah, we built a whole ecosystem. Hands-on classes, marketing support. Stoneshine Service Network is a little bit deeper than marketing support. It does a little bit more than that, but really marketing support. And then the hands-on classes, the online classes, everything's wrapped up, and you really don't need anything else.
That's right.
yeah,
And there's that ongoing support for business, and all the things we talked about with regard to starting your business. None of that's really talked about anywhere.
No.
But that's what you get. You get access to exceptional people that can help you with your business.
And want to.
Yeah.
Like this is actually
Yeah.
part of our passion. All of us
yeah.
have a
And we're
shared
going to
passion
expand
for
on that too as we go with
Oh, yeah.
business and finances and writing contracts and pricing jobs. So
Yeah,
Knowing your costs, that's a big deal. But
it is.
all right, so I think we've wrapped that one up. I think we're good with that. Huh?
yeah,
I mean, I know we're in about 15 minutes. We're going to say I should have said this. I should have said that.
of course.
That's
Well,
on the next
we
one.
can come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
To
You
be
can only stay
continued.
like about 55 minutes in this cave before.
Take care, all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.